Hey guys, it's Nick. If you don't know me, my name is Nick Germain. I am a voice actor and a rapper, occasional writer, who happens to have cerebral palsy. And if you don't know what that is, it's a leg disability in my case that affects my walking as well as my leg strength and balance. Um, Previously, I posted a video about dating with a disability, and that did really well. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. It really blows my mind, and just seeing how much it has helped some of you, like, it honestly meant the world to me. And a lot of people have been asking me to do another video, and I just didn't have an idea for the longest time what I wanted to do. So I just kind of didn't, I wanted to make sure that I was, having a concrete idea before I came out with something. So that's what I'm going to do today. And today we're going to talk about what's called, well, what I like to call a Superman complex. So for the purposes of this video, what I'm going to define a Superman complex as is when you have an insecurity about something, so you try to mask it by being really good at something else or maybe a number of things. For example, if you're not good at math, so you're just really bad at math, you get F's on all those tests that you take, you might mask it by being really good at sports and showing off extra hard in sports. And one of the ways where this became apparent in my life for me, it's essentially like a defense mechanism because you don't have confidence because of a certain imperfection or flaw that you have. And one of the ways that became apparent for me when I started going through depression about my disability last year was regarding my cerebral palsy. Now, I previously talked about dating with the disability, and that's kind of what I'm going to still focus on today. And just kind of uh, relaying some of my experiences to you guys about kind of my specific experience with this, but also like why it's harmful. Now, we all like to impress people, right? We all like to, dress nice and obviously be the most hygienic we can. We like to be the funny one and make our special someone laugh, right? Yeah, of course, we all do that because that's, I mean, if you like someone, you want to impress them, right? That's what you do. But now, where that becomes harmful is that pursuit of a perfection you're never going to reach, like some sort of unattainable perfection, more like a godlike perfection that you're never going to get to. And I'll share with you a specific story about that. So, when I was in college, I graduated in May of 2020 from college. I had a friend, and for the purposes of this video, I will just call her Nadine. Now, I had a really big crush on Nadine. We worked really closely together. We teamed up on a lot of projects, and she was great. She was so sweet and just really shy and kind of meek, calm. We spent a lot of time together just working either live events or projects, and we got to be really good friends. We both liked anime and video games and plants and cooking and baking, and we just really hit it off. And over time, I started to really fall for Nadine, and I was like, I even wanted to marry her and have kids, and I was like, now I'm not so sure about kids, but back then I was like, this is my future. Like, I remember walking back from the library, helping her with something, and I was like, just walking in the snow and thinking, man, like, I want to marry this girl because she's so great. But that has its like good sides and bad sides, and I'll kind of talk about that a little bit here. Now, before I get into it, I just want to say, like, first off, like, I think Nadine is awesome. Like, I still love her to this day. We don't speak anymore, but like I have nothing but love for her and the memories that like we made, like our friendship, like all of that. But where it becomes a problem is in the story that I'm about to tell now. So I knew Nadine for about 2 years ish, 2 or 3, something like that. Um, we just really, like I said, we really hit it off, and I fell really hard for her to the point where every time she needed me to come to the studio, I would be just finishing up lunch or in the middle of lunch, and I would just like run to the studio to help her if she needed help, and I would drop everything for her. There was one specific time where I got there early to help her set up a session. If you guys don't know, we were both audio engineering majors. Um, and I'd get to the studio early so I could help her set up. And I just wanted, because I wanted to do everything that I could to help her because I liked her so much. And like, it just, it got to the point where I was coming home from the studio with like a sore back and like I couldn't hardly stand up. And I was, I was literally breaking my back for this person. I was dressing nice, like all the time I was around her. And like, don't get me wrong, like I think like it's great to like dress your best for people you like. I still do it. But what I realized in doing that was I wasn't really thinking of my own happiness, and I was trying to be so perfect because of my disability, because I'm really insecure about my disability, guys. Like, I'm not gonna like sugarcoat anything with you. Like, I try so hard to like be perfect, quote unquote. You can't really see my air quotes, but like I try so hard to be perfect because, you know, it masks that for me. Like, if I look like the sexiest guy in the room and I present myself professionally and I'm like, and I hype up my charisma a lot more and I try to be Superman, then, you know, then in my mind, I'm gonna, be what this girl wants. But that's the thing. Like, you know, it still might not happen. And that's okay. Like, if you like somebody, you're gonna give it your all. But, like, it's not a guarantee. And, you know, I started realizing that, like, in helping her out at the library pick books for this, this audiobook project, or going to the studio to help her with sessions, or, helping her with her tech problems in the studio, or whatever else that I did to help her, taking notes for her, whatever it was, I was always putting her first, but her and I weren't dating. So I didn't even know if she had a boyfriend. I think she did at the time. Some people would call me a simp, but I just really liked this girl, right? So I wanted to do everything I could to impress her and be the kind of guy she would be impressed with. Like I would, I was comfortable around her, so I'd get flirty with her, and I'm really not that way. Like I don't flirt with girls until I'm really comfortable with them. But with her, like everything felt right. And I think that it's natural. Like, you like a girl and you just you'll do whatever it takes to, well, within reason, to impress them. But there's also a real dark side to that, because I remember, like, Nadine and I being in choir together, and I saw who I presumed was her boyfriend there at the time, and me having a physical disability, I started talking down to myself, and I started crying, and I was just like breaking down. I went to the basement of like Weld Hall, which is one of our buildings at the college I went to, and I started bawling, like crying my eyes out. People were coming up to me and they're just like, good job, and I couldn't even look at people. I was just distraught. And I remember like crying to my mom, like, like her boyfriend is perfect and he's this and he's that and he doesn't have a disability, so she obviously would like him better, right? And I was just like, I was really convinced this girl was my soulmate, you guys. Like, this was, this was it. So I was like devastated. I was like, how can I, a guy with a physical disability, compete with this perfect guy? Like, and her boyfriend was really nice and everything, but like, he was very accomplished as far as music and composition, and he dressed just as nice as I did, and he was really smart, but he didn't have a physical disability. And I thought, you know, in order to beat this guy, because that was my big thing, like I thought it was like a competition, and I was like, in order to win this girl and beat this guy, I have to be like always dressed really nice. My breath always has to smell good. I always have to be hygienic. I always have to be like way better in the studio than he could ever be at composition. I have to be like the man. But the thing is, like, that's just not healthy, because I can't change the fact that I have a disability. Like, it still sucks. Like, I'll go to things for work, or I'll go wherever, and like, whether like hip hop shows, and sometimes I'll just stand in the corner, or I'll just sit down and not say much because I don't feel confident around girls at all. Like, I just feel like I'm not good enough. But, and I'm still working through that. Like, I've gone to therapy. I've done, soul searching within myself. And, it doesn't help, I'm a shorter guy, and I'm introverted, and all of this other stuff. But, like, generally, I'm in really good shape, like the best shape of my life, pretty much, and I've gotten a lot more confident, but, and I'm overall in a better place mentally. But I think, like, there's still those days when I think, you know, I'm not good enough because I have a physical disability, and that I'm less than some of these other guys, or not good enough for whatever girl I want because, like, well, she's not going to pick me over that guy that doesn't have a physical handicap, right? But the thing is, like, we can have all the insecurities in the world, and, like, you might look at yourself in the mirror, like I sometimes do every day, and just be like, like, I'm a freak. Like, I don't know why I was cursed with this. I don't, like, I don't understand why I had to have a disability and other people don't. Like, I'm not good enough. Like, they obviously want a more athletic guy, or a guy who can do all these things that I supposedly can't do. But we can have all these insecurities, right? But at the end of the day, as we're working through these things, we have to be careful not to destroy ourselves in the process. And I think, like, if you need help, like, by all means, like, please, like, it's okay to go to therapy. I did, and my therapist Justin helped me tremendously. There's no shame in that. There's no, like, like, it's better to get help, and you're stronger for it if you do. But, as you're working through these things, whether with a therapist or just on your own, my life experience has taught me that, and I'm still working through it, by the way. This isn't like, me saying I've conquered it, because no, not at all. I was at a party last night, and I went through this exact thing, and that's what inspired me to post this. But what I want to say is that we can't destroy ourselves in the process, in this pursuit of, like, God level perfection. And, like, learning how to cook, and learning how to dress better, and be more hygienic, and learning, and, like, getting more, getting better, I should say, at keeping up with my physical fitness, and you know, uh, just eating healthier and all of that stuff. Like, they were all good life decisions. But, you know, when I was trying to date Nadine, um, it almost became like I was trying to pursue a perfection that I couldn't attain. Like, you know, I would look at other guys who didn't have a disability, and I would just, like, I have to be that much better because I hate myself. And, guys, just don't do that to yourself, okay? Just, like, don't sit there and, like, you know, try to kill yourself over something, or, you know, destroy yourself over someone who, first of all, uh, doesn't even like you the same way, but second, like, you know, isn't returning the favor. Because I don't even talk to Nadine anymore, and like, she never really like appreciated me from even a friendship level, like, not in the way I would have liked. And as much love as I have for her, like, I pursued this level of perfection to the point where I was actually going to skip an acting class that I really wanted to go to because I thought I might have to help her that day. And I would do everything all over again. Like, I really do care for her. I would help her out in a flash. But what I would not do is destroy myself for the pursuit of one person and for the chance at love. Like, there wasn't even like a guarantee that she liked me back. And sometimes you just gotta choose your own happiness, and that's what I wasn't doing. And I guess, like, what I want to leave off with is this: um, be you. Like, don't be anyone else. Like, you know, like, you might look in the mirror like I do and just, like, because I don't vibe with my disability, guys. I'll just be 100% honest. Like, it's given me a lot of, like, empathy for other people. And it's made me a disability advocate. And it's made me someone who is compassionate and who fights for other people. And I've made a lot of great friends through doing it. I'm actually on a steering committee for voice actors who have disabilities, and it's been great. Like, I love giving back as much as I can, but I'm not gonna sit here and BS you and tell you that, like, there aren't days when I don't hate myself or, like, think I'm less than other people, because, like, it's a struggle. And especially in the dating world, like, you know, like, even if I've started, like, putting my disability on dating profiles now, like, it's, you know, it's still in the back of my head. And when I'm at parties, I'm like, does that girl, you know, could she not want to date me, or think I'm not, or think I'm less, I should say, because of my disability? But I guess all we can really do at the end of the day is be ourselves and be authentic and connect with people, um, beyond just a surface level of looks, right? So connect with people, and if they're attracted to us, that's great, you know, like, but the right person will come along who likes you for you and will not care about your disability. And if you're in a spot where you think you have to hide it or be ashamed of it, like, do whatever it takes to make it bearable for you and get through your day, but don't ever feel like you're less because of your disability, because you're not. Like, that's a lie that, you know, your negative voices in your head will tell you, and it's not true, it's BS. Nobody, like, you know, that doesn't define you, and that doesn't, you know, that doesn't mean you're less than Mr. Composer guy who's like really smart and, you know, like, or whatever. Like, it could be like, you know, somebody who's like a superstar athlete. And maybe you're like me and you can't do slam dunks or, oh, three-pointers or whatever. Like, I don't watch a lot of sports. But, um, like, don't think that you have to change yourself for somebody or, feel like you're less because of your disability, because the right person won't care about that. And if you guys need someone to talk to, please reach out to me. I'll leave my social media links and my email in the description, so you can have somebody to talk to, because I will respond and I will try to help you through my own experiences if you need that. And just thank you guys for listening today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.